I'm going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? A lot of you seem really interested in my connection to this children's card game and sort of how deep I'm in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan base, I guess. This video isn't going to be very well edited. It's just going to be me just generally talking out of character about my genuine love, I guess, for the game Yu-Gi-Oh! I was born in the 1900s or the 90s, and essentially I grew up watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and playing the card game as a kid. And I dropped playing it round about, I don't know, 13, 14, didn't really think about it much, but it does bring a lot of nostalgia and joy to me now as an adult man. I got back into the card game around the 25th anniversary, and I essentially just had a couple of friends who had bought a few decks for nostalgia's sake. We started playing once a week, twice a week, with just, you know, some speed duel decks and some really simple stuff. That was about 2 years ago, and I'm now at the point where this is my collection. This is everything I own in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! With that poster, and there's also a clock up here that I'll get a shot of. It's fun and nostalgic for me. And it's just a nice hobby and something to spend my... There's a bug on my collection. Something just to spend my disposable income on, basically. So I think I'll just sort of take you through a quick understanding of how I play or any potential questions that I've had through the comments section over the last couple of years. I'm not a serious player. I'm not like a meta player. I don't play at a local shop or play any sort of regionals or anything like that. It's purely just something I do with a small group of friends that I have. We used to do it once a week, but now we just try and do it maybe twice a month. And we usually just go to a pub, have a few drinks, crack a few decks out, have a chat while dueling. It's nice. It's a nice pastime, essentially. I'll just take you through everything I own. I can't imagine that many people finding it interesting. But to the 5 or 10 of you that are that bothered about my obsession with Yu-Gi-Oh!, there you go. I guess I will show you how I keep my cards. So this is pretty much all of my cards that aren't in a deck. So these are all my cards. They're just a very large box, a very nice sort of like card box that I splashed out on. They're all organized. So I've got my traps, my spells, and then just by type here. So, you know, Aqua all the way to Zombie, just sort of meticulously sorted. And I know my card management isn't great, but I'm in and out of this building decks a lot. That's it, these are my cards. A lot of unused fusions, you know, just all the stuff that I picked up through packs, eBay, car boots, that sort of thing. So that's it, they're all organized like that. It took me a long time, but it does bring me quite a lot of peace, or it makes my brain go quiet at least, which is something I always need. So I guess that's the cards. I'll take you through some decks, potentially. So this is the first case I bought because it was quite fancy. Got a little official game coin, a couple of dice. I don't know the language or the lingo, or if like an expert Yu-Gi-Oh! Player has a conversation with me, my eyes sort of really start to glaze over and I sort of don't understand half of what they're talking about. I still don't use pendulums. When I first got back into the game, I was like a Yugi boomer, so best I could do was a fusion, and I was expecting like a 23 turn game instead of, you know, the 2-turn games that you get in Master Duel now. Didn't have any idea of what hand traps were, so it's been a learning experience again, getting to grips with the game. And I am using everything now except pendulums. I sort of refuse to use those. It's far too modern for me, too much of a boomer. So these are some very janky decks indeed. I will take you through my favorite deck first, which is just I call it my greed deck, and the entire deck revolves around the card greed, essentially. So the win condition for that is I'm trying to get as many, suck as many life points out as possible. So I guess, I don't know how I'm going to present this. I don't know if this is watchable, but I guess I'll just sort of line out what I've got. And then you guys can, you know, the very clever lot of you can figure out whether it's good or not. Essentially, this is one of my favorite decks that I built, and I'm I'm pretty sure you can't find another deck like this. I'm sure someone has built it, but I haven't seen it anywhere. And I'm very proud of it. And if you get it right, if you get a good hand, if you get the heart of the cards, then you can inflict about 7,000 life points within the second turn, which is pretty good. It's just sort of, this is something I built, had a lot of fun with. Essentially, I just need to get greed on the field, ideally using this. And then I've got a bunch of traps that will make you draw. I've got some cards that will sort of jam up the attack position monsters or just keep my sort of front row locked in. And then just everything here makes you draw. The initial idea was just Chainsaw Insect and Greed. I saw these two, just tried to build a deck out of it. That's it. I don't think I can go too much into the description of that. I got a mixture of stuff. Basically, stuff that no one would really ever use in modern day. I'd say the only sort of modern day deck-ish or like sort of meta-ish deck I have is a Momentalin? Is that how you say it? Momentalin deck that I've been using for like the last couple of weeks, that I've built in the last couple of weeks. This is probably my like most modern deck. This is my most modern deck, I would say. You know, and to sort of speed things up and not take you through everything, I guess this is just a sort of starter video, just to see how it goes. I'll just take you through what I've got. I've got a YuGiOh Kyber Joey structure decks, just for the nostalgia's sake. I've got a strange insect deck that I've built. I've got a zombie deck that's sort of incomplete. This is a Time Lord deck, which I really enjoyed. When I first took this to the sort of duel nights, everyone was really confused about their effects, which was good fun. I've got a Dino deck purely built out of dinosaurs, which is really fun, really proud of that. Built that just from all the cards that I had. This is a broken Ojama deck that no longer exists. This is just a very basic structure Sue-ship deck that I was using for a long time, and then someone else from the duel group got a Sue-ship deck, and I sort of got bored of using my Sue-ship deck because someone else was using one. And then with just a Obelisk, Slither, Blue Eye structure deck. This is like, I say Time Lord Mini because I had a second Time Lord deck. This is just like a banished deck, like Helios Sun sort of deck, you know, scrimming stuff from the banished graveyard. This is really fun and noteworthy. This is a deck I built for a meme. A good friend of mine in the duel group built a coin toss deck to go along with this. Essentially, this is my dice deck. It's very exhausting to play, but essentially the sort of idea behind it was just to have every card, almost every card. There's some stuff in there that you sort of need to keep it playable, but essentially almost every card you roll a dice. So I tried to find every card I could that involved rolling a dice and make it playable, and it's playable. It's won a couple of duels. It has won a couple of duels, mostly through Dice Jar and just a very lucky roll. But this is a really fun, silly sort of meme deck that I like to play, but it is quite exhausting and you will be rolling a lot of dice. That was worth an honourable mention. And then I've picked up other structure decks here. You know, I haven't got enough boxes for everything now. These are essentially, I think I bought the 3 YuGi decks, 3 different types of YuGi decks. That's one. There's another one somewhere else. I have decks in progress. So these are my decks in progress where I've like found a few cards and thought that would work, etc. For example, I've got some Battle in Boxer cards that I thought maybe I could make a deck out of. So I've just grouped them together for any future building. What's this? These are my, this is just even though, look, even my sleeves, I've even organized all of my sleeves. That's another YuGi deck. This is a Trap Trick deck, which I've sealed away because I'm not a fan of the art style. I much prefer the old art style of YuGiOh. The new sort of lolly-ish stuff is kind of gross, I'm not gonna lie. I'll take you through some binders. They're not organized, they're not gonna be impressive. There's no organization in this. I think I'm just gonna flip through. and then show you anything in particular that I think is quite funny. I'm often quite pulling stuff out of here for decks, or I'm often sort of like going through and changing stuff around. I need to sit down, I need to fully organize it so it's a respectable sort of collector's piece. And you might be questioning, why is this card in here? Why is that card in there? I don't know if anything's worth money or is rare. If it's shiny and I like it. These I got from my partner. She collects Pokemon, but she thought these were cute. And these are quite cool. And then I'll just keep flipping through. You know, it is what it is. A lot of stuff needs to be organized and changed and sleeved. But if anyone here knows, it's very time consuming, and I don't always have the time to focus on Yu-Gi-Oh, unfortunately. So I'll take you through a binder that, yes, I did pay £7 for that graceful charity while I was building a goat deck. And then, you know, if there's anything in here, guys, that you really need or want and it's not worth a fortune, I'm happy to do a giveaway or whatever. I've got way too much. Spent far too much money. And then I've got another sleeve. This isn't full, I don't think. I don't think this is full. I think this has just got a few in it. And I'll just take you through it, I guess. It's not much. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else. There might be some traps in the back. But that's it. That's essentially the... That's essentially everything Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm only really doing this because it's been requested so much. I'm not very interested in making one of the very few hobbies I have monetizable, and then it's sucking the joy out of it and turning it into a job. I've already had two passions that I've done that to, and I would like to keep one. So I don't think I'll be going too far in. I'm sure I'll buy some packs. I often receive packs for Christmas, birthday, so if you want an opening, sure. I know the fan base for this isn't anything like Pokemon or any other card game, but I'm happy to indulge if anyone has any curiosities. And that's it. I think that's it. I think that's as much as I can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, you know, getting bored, basically. If you guys have any suggestions or more questions, I can answer them. I think this really does baffle me. I don't think anyone will ever really be that interested in looking at my weird adult collection of a children's card game. And I mean, yeah, this is the other thing. I own that. I picked that up in a GameStop in the US. And let me just check the time. Okay, it's time to duel. Don't think I can talk any more about Yu-Gi-Oh! So bye.